Next up we have Irene Bedard. Hello. Sure, perfect. I'll just sit next to you. How are y'all doing? Hello. So, how's your week been going? I'm sure it's been nonstop because Nashville really showed up this weekend.
Very much so. It's been really, really, really fun.
Have y'all been here before?
No, this is my first time in Tennessee at all. Certainly my first time in Nashville, so it's really awesome.
Same here. First time, and I will be coming back, and I will hopefully get to explore more, but what better way than to, come here for the first time and get to meet some people, and yeah, you've brought so much joy to our homes and to our lives, and there's been, anyway, I'll geek out later, but, let's start this off by, if you mind introducing yourselves and kind of telling us about what you've done and a little bit about
Well, my name is Anita Rose. You all probably know me best as Princess Tiana. This year I was also in Zootopia 2. Last year I was in Mufasa and his mother Afia. And if you all to the D&D situation, I'm in the Mighty Nine as and so I was trying to keep things a little spread out and different. And if you're in New York, I'll be on Broadway this spring. So,
I'll have to go. Hello, my name is Irene Bedard. My Indian name is Bedard, which means woman rocked. I am the best known as the voice of Disney's Pocahontas. I am born in Mesa, Alaska. I'm Nubiak and Nubik on my mother's side, and on my father's side, Métis Cree. So I am indigenous to this nation. and I have quite a few projects that are out now. You can go to the Internet Movie Database if you want to look it up. I had some little girls come up and ask me how many different projects that I've done, and I'm like, so,
that. And I got to know y'all briefly back there, but in this short amount of time, I'm like, you fit. This is the Disney Princesses panel, so I will have to talk, about your characters for Disney, but you definitely fit Cool Voice, and it's just mind-boggling. So let's talk about the audition process, because I know that Disney can be very discreet, they can be very secretive when it comes to that. I'm curious to find out if you knew what you were auditioning for, and what that process was like.
So I did know what I was auditioning for, but I had a meeting with Disney probably 2 years beforehand, and they said they were coming up with a princess. This princess was supposed to be from somewhere else. She wasn't originally going to be American. And they were looking into it and creating it, so they wanted to have a meeting with me. We had a great meeting. And then up to 2 years later, originally the Princess and the Frog was called The Queen of New Orleans. And it was beautiful. I didn't get the whole script on all sides because you get different scenes from the piece. And I just recognized who that was immediately in my spirit, because I too came from a small town. New Orleans is a little bigger than my town. And I too had lots of people saying, well, you're not going to do that from here. What is that for real? So I understood that journey very well. And I have a loving family that supported me in my desires and my dreams. So it was very clear to me that I had 3 auditions, and they were like several months apart, each one of them. And at one point, I was in Australia shooting something. I was getting ready to fly to Australia, and they were like, so in 3 days is going to be your second audition. You call back. And I was like, so I went to Australia. I I shot for one day. I got on a plane the next morning. I flew back to LA and I auditioned. And I was cross-eyed. I was so tired, but it actually didn't matter because I wanted this role so badly that I could have been on Mars and I would have been back that day in time and ready for my audition. So I had 3 auditions and it was a pretty great process. It was a pretty welcoming and easy welcoming process. Like they don't make it difficult for you in the room. They're happy that you're there. They want you to be there. They want you to do the best and you can feel it. That's a nice room to be in.
That's always nice when you can walk into a space and you have that feeling that they want the best of you, you know. So
It doesn't always happen.
no.
How about you?
Well, so it's funny that you were saying that you had this experience having to go all the way to Australia. For me, my very first film was a Disney movie. It was a live action movie called Squanto Warrior's Tale. So I was already in the Disney wheelhouse at that point. The second film I did was not a Disney. It was a movie produced by Jane Fonda called The 41 Minutes Interview. But one of the producers on there, Henry Wiggum, he was a professor, writer, author, was also one of the advisors on Pocahontas. So I think that's how who knows what's going on behind the scenes, but I think that's probably how that meeting got set up. But on this set of Squanto, I ended up it went over schedule, and so it went into my wedding date schedule. And so I ended up getting married on the set of that film on a replica of the 16th century ship called the Half Moon. And I was given away on a white Japanese stallion on a beach rides in the movie on a wagon Mohawk stuntman. But so I had a little break between Squanto and Poland, and I was on my honeymoon in my house. And I got a call saying, hey, Disney wants to meet you, like, tomorrow. Can you?
It's tomorrow. It's never. Take the wheel off the calendar. It's tomorrow.
So I got on a trip as a friend. You know, it's this, you have this understanding of the legacy. Or I did it growing up Sunday night, going and watching with my family the Disney. This is a wonderful world of Disney. It was for me definitely a family thing. So we got on a train, and when I was waiting for the train, the straw fell and the train flew, and somebody ran over my hat. So I went this skewed hat, and you know, I just whirlwind kind of a feeling, and we had so much fun. I mean, my cheeks were hurting at the end of the audition, and I did walk out going, that felt really good. I want to do that. And there I was on the set of The Photo Woman, and I did my very first recording sessions in somebody's basement studio in South Dakota somewhere. Yeah.
Well, we're so happy that it worked out perfectly for you because I don't think there could have been a better person to do the work that you did. So we're very happy that it was done, right?
And can you ever imagine that your character would make the impact that they made for everyone? Do you think it was going to become as big as it did?
No, I didn't. I wasn't thinking about it that way. I was more thinking about it in the space that I had always dreamed to be a Disney voice. I always wanted to be a Disney voice. I didn't care what the voice was. I lived in a tree, a snowflake, a dandelion. It didn't matter to me. So this was beyond the dream that I had for myself, which is astounding when you think about it. When the universe says, oh yeah, you have that little dream, here it is, tenfold. So it's been amazing.
There is nothing that could have prepared me for the amount of love and 110,000 people in Central Park. That was the premiere of Pocahontas, and it was so overwhelming around the world. And then to be here now more than 30 years later, and to have the legacy of that, of people coming up and saying, "You were my childhood, and now here's my child," and that is not anything that you could know in your heart when you're saying yes to something. But I definitely knew and understood that Disney has the legacy factor. So yeah,
Magic that you can get to. I love hearing the behind the scenes stories, and it's amazing too. Like when I go home and mention how it's something that you want to do. Like, oh, it's going to be hard. It's Disney, and that's so beautiful. Listen, there was about a bit of pain for Bobby, but anyway, we have time for the Q&A portion, so feel free to start writing up if you have any questions. We have a microphone right here. And feel free to make a nice sound. There you go.
My question is for Karen. Have you ever been to New Orleans?
I've been to New Orleans so many times, and I love it. All I do is eat. I just eat.
When I was making it?
My favorite thing that ever happened while I was making a movie was when they revealed to me what Tiana looked like. They did it as a surprise. They told me they wanted me to approve the way my name was on something. They wanted me to come back and look at it. And when I went back to look at it, they played her in color for the first time. And I had no idea how much she would look like me. I was stunned, and I was honored, and I was in tears. And that was the best thing.
that too. I mean, when I got to go through, they brought me through the Embassy Studios and get to see all the animators. Also, with Rock Breaks the Internet too, when we did all the quizzes. Yeah, they wanted just to show everybody all the different, whether your background or your character development, the amount of work that goes into making, and the number of hours from thousands of people to make these projects is so amazing, and to just be able to see that. But this is like an off from your question, but when Rock Breaks the Internet came out, they at D23, they made an announcement that all the Disney princesses were going to be in it. And we all got to introduce each other, and I got to introduce you. and then we got to go on the ride. And then it was in Disneyland, it was the Twilight Zone ride, and we changed it to the Guardians of the Galaxy. And as a gift, we got to go on the ride as many times as we wanted. So that was just such a fun time. Thank you.
Yeah, you can take that. You're a pro. There you go.
I want to know if you could voice a Disney film, which one would you like to voice?
People often ask me what women I'd like to voice. And it is, without a doubt, unchangeably Ursula. We gotta make this happen. You see it.
I love that Guardians of the Galaxy ride too.
Me too.
When you were growing up, before you got your roles in the Disney canon, I suppose, did you have a favorite Disney princess or movie?
I did not have a favorite Disney princess. I had a favorite Disney princess dress, however, and that was Cinderella's, which was just stunning to me.
Yeah, I like the princesses growing up. But I think my Disney princess growing up was Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster growing up for me was she was in so many of the Disney movies and Freaky Friday and I just thought she was amazing and I still think she's amazing. So.
Thank you.
First time meeting you, thank you guys for being here. So, my question, sorry. So, when it comes to like the recording sessions, do you guys get to meet like the other people's voices and like everyone enjoy
Yes, I did a whole two films, but the whole romance version of a film with an actor that I've met him and we never actually met in person. So we, in order to be sure we do all of our recording sessions alone, I did run a recording session with Russell Means, if he really wanted to have that good back and forth between us. But yeah, they were all alone for me.
Mostly our sessions were by ourselves. So I think I did one. I met Bruno, and we did one session together, but I don't remember what the scene was. It was something very high energy. But usually you're there by yourself, and then lots of people behind glass, away from you. It's very interesting, a very different way of feeling.
It's like the Star Trek. Yeah, like that, yeah.
For your characters, and like so many of us, I grew up watching Disney VHSs. Pocahontas came out in the early lives. So that was one of my first Disney VHSs I had, and we really like it. And we still had it to this day. Pocahontas was my absolute favorite growing up, with the music to the characters and the empowerment it gave. And then now fast forward into and same issue I had one dream. Of course for many others my age, I had one goal. I was like, I'm gonna work for Disney. And I had the full support of my family. My mom's like, that's what you want to do. I'll find a way. I found to do that. That was our deal, but I ended up going to work for Disney as just an intern on my first job. And Tiana gave me that empowerment just for her character, that tenacity to say, hey, work hard, pay what you get. So thank you both for your characters and what they did for my childhood and amusement and wonder. Thank you for your continued legacy and your brothers and just everything in between. Again, just thank you. Thank you for everything. I just want to see you guys are very brief. But also, what is those voice content? That's very difficult. I've been very lucky to work on a lot of things that are really good. Most recently, I created this character for the Mighty Nine. Mary McGraw or the Ruby Legacy, which is very difficult for me to be able to do. So for Eastern European accent, which is mixed with Russian and Kazakh and